I love that. I wasn't making fun of your laugh, by the way, earlier. Have you ever had somebody make fun of the way that you laugh? This is unprofessional. Unprofessional! I would never make fun of the way somebody laughs. I don't know if you've ever had a friend make fun of the way that you laugh. You ever had someone do that? By a round of applause? That is so fucked up that a friend would make fun of the way that you laugh. You know what that's them saying? Do you know what they're saying? They're saying, hey, you know that sound that you make when you're happy and joyful? The tragedy that permeates our everyday life is momentarily abated from ephemeral escapism? Yeah, you sound stupid. You should feel insecure when you're happy. There's a few moments in life when you're like, you should be like, wait, do I sound like a seal? Quick, throw me a ball. I've been doing a lot of mime work in this show. This is very exciting, you guys. I love that you came to the Relapse Theater. Give it up for all the comedians you've seen tonight. Got some people here. I also want you to know I'm professional. I'm not going to suddenly walk out of my light and just talk to you like this in the shadows. That'd be really strange. I'm not going to do that. But I even see some people right here. I was filming a major motion picture called Office Christmas Party. Can you guess what it's about? An office Christmas party. And there's a lot of people from that movie here tonight. By a round of applause, who here was involved in the movie? Who here had nothing to do with the movie? Yeah. We got a good mix. The people that weren't involved in the movie, the way that you guys kind of cheered, I thought was pretty aggressive. It was always like, fuck no! Loving Atlanta, really liking it. Really loving having worked here and been here. I'm not in Atlanta, I'm in Marietta. Yeah, cheer it up, Marietta. Yes, that's right. So we got a little Marietta Square. Yes. 2 blocks by 2 blocks. 2 gazebos. 1 square, 2 giant gazebos. What the fuck are they? Were they both building gazebos concurrently? And then they're like 3/4 of the way through. They looked at each other like, "Wait, are you? We were building. It's also gazebo. Well, fuck! I can't stop now." I went to this music festival. Well, it was like a food festival. I went near there. They're like, "Yeah, we had a music festival a little while ago, and there were bands playing both gazebos the whole time." It's like, that's horrible. Because it's literally 30 paces from gazebo to gazebo. So they're just blasting different types of music over each other, just a cacophony, this terrible thunderstorm of sound. While you're walking around being like, where's the pad thai and the pot pies? Atlanta, very much loving like Atlanta proper, inside the perimeter, it's a lot of fun. It is, yeah, you guys, what's going on? It gets very hot here, you know, in Georgia in general, it gets very hot. In the South, people move a little bit slower. I think it's because of the heat. Right? We went to Savannah, and this is a real interaction that happened. was in Savannah, and Kate, my wife, was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to this Starbucks and order some, the bathroom is right there, and there's the Starbucks counter. I'm like, I'm gonna get us some tea. She's like, okay, unsweetened, all right? And I was like, no, I know. Because all of you drink sweet tea down here, and some of you put sugar in your sweet tea. But you wonder why you're moving slower. You're just drinking sugar water. Walking around, that's why the rocking chair. Because the stationary chair, you'll fucking fall out of it. Combination of alcohol and sugar down here? Good God. So Kate goes, but you know what, you're probably not, it'll take too long to get it. So I'm just going to go to the bathroom. I was like, yeah, right? So she goes to the bathroom. Yeah. Because there's only one person in line, and they're already ordering, it seems like. So I stand behind them, kind of waiting. Nobody's really saying anything. The girl looking at the menus, kind of tapping, just looking up. The other girl behind the counter is kind of like, she's not like upset or bored or anything. Like, she's just trying to keep standing up in her seat. I asked somebody in Spain, I go, what's the humidity here? Like, what kind of humidity do you guys have? And she's like, I don't know. There's this great moment where she's like, we don't fucking check the humidity. She literally then said, all I know is in the summer you don't take a shower because the second you get out of the shower you just start sweating again. That's very true. That is real. She's waiting, and then one of the girls goes, do you got anything that's decaffeinated? Like with no caffeine in it? And the girl behind the counter goes, yeah, I mean, actually, I think all of it can be decaffeinated. And the customer that was in front of me in line goes like this. She goes, and it was this moment where both of them are like, it's so fucking hot, what do we do? Is anything decaffeinated so I can just go to sleep and hope I don't die from sweating? And the other girl's like, I think all of it is. Just order something. And the other girl's like, wait a second, all of it? Oh, shit. And then when Kate comes out of the bathroom, she's like, did you order? I was like, just walked out of there. But, that's the downside. Upsides, lots of them. Very friendly. In Atlanta, right? Very friendly in general in the South. I'm from Denver, Colorado. I live in Los Angeles. In Denver, people are very friendly to each other, to strangers. They'll sort of interact with people that they don't know. That doesn't happen in New York or Los Angeles. You would never look at a stranger and not break eye contact. Somebody you don't know looks at you, you certainly wouldn't smile. It's fucking crazy. I was in Atlanta, like midtown, down, like inside of Atlanta. And I walked by some person I didn't know. We locked eyes, we didn't look away. They just went. If you're in New York or Los Angeles, and you meet eyes with a stranger, not only do they not immediately look away, but they go, hey. Your first thought is like, are you gonna kill me or wait? What order, because that matters. One way's better than the other. I'm sorry, that's dark, but it's real. Okay? One of them, when you're halfway there, you're already done. That is dark. Stop. I like that, because what does it cost you to smile, right? At a stranger. Not a pretty penny. Not a goddamn dime. Not a fucking $5 bill. So I like it. I've been practicing while I'm down here. I've been out here for like 3 months, pretty much, but I've been doing this. I've been doing, if somebody smiles at me, what I'll do is I'll double down. They give me a little smile, I'll give them twice the smile back. Their smile is free, right? What does it cost me to give them an even bigger smile? If I'm lucky, they'll smile 2 times that. Then we're 4, 6, I'm not great at math, but the smile level is high. The friendliness is off the fucking charts. So I was walking in and somebody goes, hey, how you doing? All right. What's on your hair? they're like, underwear! And I was like, that's what I thought!
You guys ever have nightmares?
Okay, so anyway, so okay, hey, we're here, you know, it's the plan. I don't want to be your friend if we're in line for the bathroom. I don't care. We don't have anything in common with one another at all. You know, I was in line for the bathroom at this party, and this guy turns to me and goes, pretty long line for the bathroom, huh? I was like, yeah. That should have been the end of it. That should be the end of the intersection of our existence together. Oh, is this a... Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, I apologize. I'm just concerned that the light from the phone, I don't know if it's a camera situation, if so, that's okay. But yeah, we gotta sort of, maybe even bring down the brightness, you know, that's an adjustable setting. No, it's not a bad thing. I'm not upset with him at all. It's just a lot of people think that when they text or they're using their phone light, that it's very surreptitious and it's not distracting. What they don't realize is that your phone, the screen, shoots a light. No matter where you hold it, it's just shooting a light into your face, illuminating your identity like, oh, I'm an asshole! It actually leads me, I don't take pictures. I'll get back to the bathroom line in just 1 second. I don't take a lot of pictures with people because I think that people should stop recording their lives and just live it. That would be an interesting sort of thing. You know, and the other reason is because the pictures are always awkward. You know, I smile in them. I don't know if you saw me smile earlier. But it's often a girl, and she's giving her boyfriend her camera to take the picture. She doesn't want him to be in the picture. I guess ostensibly because their relationship isn't going well, or maybe she thinks it's going to end and she doesn't know how to use like photo cropping or something. She'll get it, but they always, you know, girls always make the same face in a picture. I don't know if you know this. You've all, through trial and error, because of the pressures that society has sort of laid upon you, you've gone through and you found one sort of one kind of look, you know, and that's the one that you get into every single time. So she'll be like, okay, here, take the picture, here we go. You know, I'm next to her, you know. And then invariably, the guy, it's her phone, and he has an iPhone, and maybe she's running on a Samsung Android OS or something like that. So he won't know how to take the picture, right? And so then it's just this very long, awkward moment in my life that is repeated over and over, day after day, years and years, of just me like... Press the button. The button on the front. Press the button. Press the front button. The button looks like a camera. Press the button that looks like a camera. Try pressing the one button you haven't pressed. You're so stupid. You cheat on me in July. She'll take a picture, or he'll take a picture, and then she'll run over, grab the phone, look at it, she'll be, oh, no, take it again. Take it again, my arm will expand. That's what a girl said once. I gotta say, okay? Bitches be crazy. And I don't say this a lot, but I mean, they should be crazy. First of all, society's objectified every part of your body, basically. You know what I but not your arms. Let go of your arms. Let that be the one thing that you don't judge and pick apart. They're just arms. No guy has ever looked at a picture and been like, oh, damn, she's fine as hell, but she got them ugly-ass Michelin Man arms. Hell, look like a couple of turkey legs swinging from her shoulders. Can't go swimming with her in a swim hole. Water wings won't fit out of those turkey legs. Gonna need a spare tire and a couple of crowbars. Bitches be crazy. I mean, it's not as if we tell them that through trial and error they have to find a way they can present themselves to be the most sexual object, but also be careerists. So they have to have a career and a family. If they only have a family and they don't have a career, then they're just a housewife or a stay-at-home mom. And if they just have a career and they don't have a family, then they're just this lonely career woman. And we just push them to do both. They're doubled on the amount that they have to do, but they're paid less than men. And they also are fighting for equality, but they still want to be strong within their families. And men, also want them to be a feminine object, but be able to pull their weight within a relationship where they demand equality. I don't know why bitches be crazy. You would be crazy too. If you were a guy and had all of the things that I just said, which is 1/4 of the things that they're going through, and that is 1/8 of what I even understand, yeah, you'd be crazy too. So I was in that bathroom line. That was the end of it. That was all I did. I had enough. It was over for me. I was ready to just go to the bathroom and never interact with that guy again. Because sometimes the interaction between you and another person, right, should only be one interaction, and then you go your separate ways. Your existences, there's an intersection, and then you go in opposite directions. You live out your lives. You die in very different and faraway places. I was walking in Los Angeles, and right at the intersection of Cahuenga and Selma, I was walking by, and this sort of bigger guy with very small glasses, tiny glasses, almost like bifocals, but one half of it wasn't there, so quarter focals. I mean, it's really. He walked by me, I walked by him. We made eye contact, and this is all he did. He just went. That was it. That was the last time I ever saw him. That's the all he did was pass by me in an intersection in Los Angeles and give me the tiniest burp. And I didn't judge him. Who knows if he was a feral child who grew up in one of those. That was the way that you greet strangers, just a little. And then, if you see somebody you really know, then you're like, ugh. And it was just a greeting. He's just saying hello, right? So that didn't happen. This guy in the bathroom, I guess he looked me up and down, and I can understand this. You look at this, whatever this is. I feel like I look like a maitre d' who got fired halfway through his shift, but he has to finish it out or he doesn't get his paycheck. Sometimes it's really fun. And the guy assessed me, and he thought I was a terrible person, just like him, because then he said to me, "Hey, you see that chick over there? Pretty hot, huh? Yeah, her body's banging, but her face is busted. Whatever, throw a bag over it, am I right?" I couldn't help it. I went, "No." No! What is he talking about? First of all, he didn't specify if it was paper or plastic. That's very dangerous. Plastic is very dangerous. Also, who spends all their time at a party talking to a girl, getting to know her, you know what I mean? You get some chemistry going. Finally, you're like, "Hey, do you want to ride home?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty drunk, Like, all right, cool, me too, but I'm so drunk I can't do it. Yeah, you're gonna head back, and then you guys are driving home, you're talking, and she's like, "We should hang out sometime, Yeah. My place is actually on the way, back to yours. Stop at my place and have a nightcap." And she's like, "No, I don't have to work tomorrow." And you're like, "Neither do I. I'm unemployed." So she comes up to your place, you open up, you're like, "Connie," you're trying to be smooth, because you're nervous. Because you don't want to, you're not an asshole, you're not trying to you want to get to know her better and drink, she wants to have a couple drinks, see what happens. So you're trying to be smooth, she wants to go, "Hey, Connie, make yourself at home. Don't do anything I wouldn't do." Sorry, we don't know each other that well. I would sit on you could just sit on the couch. Can I get you something to drink? I have white wine. I got a Brita, water. That's all. Okay, 2 white wines coming right up. Garçon. You know, I don't speak French really, but I do know that in this situation you would call me garçon because I'm getting the wine. So I shouldn't call you garçon. If you want to, you can call me garçon. You don't have to. Okay, you don't. Yeah. And before we kind of hang out, if you would just do this for me. Would you put this bag over your head? Would you put a paper bag over your head? No, you would never ever do that. And if there was a world where there was a girl who was like, okay, she's so emotionally broken that while you're having intercourse, she would assuredly cry during intercourse. The tears would mix with the bag, and slowly it would melt away, revealing her face. Like the scariest scarecrow you've ever seen. Listen to me, listen to what I'm saying. Like the scariest scarecrow you ever fucked. Listen to what I fucked a scarecrow! It's a victimless crime. I just like that. I think that's so funny. Fucking a scarecrow is a victimless crime? That's such a weird idea to me. Your Honor, I chose to represent myself this afternoon because I didn't think the taxpayers should waste their hard-earned tax dollars on a public defender that would merely state the same case I will state to you now. Did I have sexual intercourse with a scarecrow? Absolutely. Was it consensual? I don't know. Was there a victim in that crime? I didn't feel like a victim here. Why don't you ask Harold if he did? I rest my case, Your Honor. Oh, and one more thing. If anybody was scared, I think it was me. We cut to years in the past. A young boy is in the back seat of his family car, station wagon. They're headed to a family event somewhere, Kansas or something. He's been asleep. He wakes up, his parents are arguing in the front seat. He turns, his sister is asleep on his left. He looks out at the wheat fields. Passes by. And he sees a figure in the field. It appears to be a scarecrow, but there's another figure with the scarecrow. And it's that very person fucking the scarecrow, but he's scared the entire time, but he's still having a good time. So he just looks at this wheat field, sees somebody like, turns out and goes, Mom? Dad, I just saw. Mom, Dad. Like, what is it, TJ? Nothing. You wouldn't believe me anyway. Never mind. I'll never speak about it again until years from now I'll turn it into a bit. It's actually a confession that no one will ever believe. Get into a few things. Got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Very excited. Also, thank you to the Relapse Theater for sort of popping up these 2 shows. We're leaving tomorrow because the movie wrapped last night. So let's give Relapse a big round of applause. Also come back and tell your friends to come back. I like it. In any other situation, I would kind of talk about how you, sir, decided to wear shorts this evening. I like that. No, but it is very, very hot. It is funny, though. I think it takes a lot of courage to wear shorts at night as a guy. Because you're either so drunk all day that you're like, I don't know how to get home and change. Or you're that confident. You're just like, you see these calves? There's plenty more where that comes from. Just Make your way up to the top. I'm only leaving this to the imagination. Do you guys ever have nightmares? Thank you. Jesus, can you imagine how? Thank you very much. Really? How many people, for reals, by round of applause, have nightmares? I've had many in the last couple of weeks, but when I vulnerably ask a group of hundreds of people, do you have nightmares, and it's just silence, that's its own kind of nightmare. Can you imagine? I'm just like, you guys have nightmares? You're like, we don't have them, we're just in yours. We always want to talk about our nightmares, you know? We want to tell people about them. Have you ever noticed that? But nobody wants to listen because they don't have any narrative through line. We're so used to stories that have some cogent through line or narrative. But the reason we want to tell people about it is because it's a prison of our own minds devising. Think how fucked up a part of life that is. That when you finally get to sleep's something that I'll talk about in relationship to death later when I talk about suicide, morality, being relative, morbidity. Yeah, you're right. No. Yeah, we'll get there. So sleep is something that we all look forward to, right? Anybody here hates sleeping? Can't stand it? Anybody wake up and just sort of like, you're like, fuck the snooze button, let's get to it, right? I bet I got more responsibility today. I'm a day older, yeah! I'm the kind of debt I can't recover from, let's do it! So you tell people I was at a party telling a group of people my nightmare, and it doesn't make, nobody wants to listen to it. I'm like, okay, so in the nightmare I wake up, so I think I'm awake. And I'm in my parents' bedroom, but it's also my high school principal's office, but it's neither, do you know what I mean? And then I turn around and I'm on the beach, and I'm like, there must be jellyfish here, because I'm definitely afraid of jellyfish, you know that. Because when I was stung in New Jersey, did I tell you guys that story? No? Great, anyway, so I'm afraid of jellyfish. In the middle of the story, this guy in the circle of people, he goes, oh, you have nightmares? I have night terrors. What? It's like, fuck you. Don't one-up me. With your night terrors, like, oh, you have nightmares, you have bad dreams about female horses? Well, my nights are filled with terror. So I went to his house in the dead of the night. And I built a bed that was a mirror image of his bed. I put the feet of the bed together and I dressed exactly as he was dressed in his sleeping garments and I went to sleep. And then I waited until he awoke from a night terror. And then as he awoke, I also awoke. And I mirrored everything that he did. So he was like, ah! And I was like, ah! He was like, ah! And I was like, ah! And I hit a button and all these lights from Home Depot that I had set up just flooded the room. Which is more terrifying, your night or my day? That's super expensive. If they wake up while you're setting up the lights, you can kiss that friendship goodbye. Try explaining that one. Oh my gosh, that's right. Who's your favorite American historical figure? Okay, well, these are really not landing with you guys as actual questions that aren't rhetorical. I'm from Denver. I live in Los Angeles, so I smoke marijuana. Yeah, you kind of figured out, like, you need to legalize marijuana, obviously. I think that's really important. Hi. Okay? Oh, you can't. I thought the whole time, hey, hi. That was really weird and scary. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did go, hi. And I was like, I gotta acknowledge this person, because she's like, hello! Dear God. Yes, I'm sorry it's so hot. I won't keep you here too long, I promise you that. No, thank you very much. No. That doesn't mean that I'm going to leave in a couple seconds. Just because you're like, ah! I'm still getting some things worked out here. you know, we at the Relapse Theater, they bought a air conditioning unit, but they kind of bought it at discount, and they found out it was actually a heating unit. But it's an upstart theater. They're trying to get it together. That's why we're here. This show is a benefit for the theater, and so is the previous one, where almost all the profits, nearly 20% of the profits, are going. 70% of the profits are going to the theater because we want to keep building the space because Atlanta has a scene that's fucking awesome. Really do. But Atlanta, you need to legalize marijuana. You got to get on board with this. You've done the closest thing, which is it's illegal to smoke weed in Atlanta, but it doesn't seem like anyone gives a fuck. That is really the feeling I get, is that you guys are like, I mean, what are the cops here? They're just like, who cares? I guess they have bigger stuff to worry about. I mean, they do. Not in a negative way, but it is like, I don't understand why. So we need to legalize marijuana for the economic benefits. I'm most interested in the idea of marijuana as a cash crop. There's a green rush happening here in all the places that legalized it. And it's going to be our only economic weapon against our enemies in the East. The United States, America, was built on two things. One we don't like to talk about, and the other is tobacco, okay? So yet this is yet another cash crop. And we'll get into the first thing in just a little bit, which always goes well in the South. So I smoke marijuana. I like marijuana a lot. I have a brain condition where it's better for me to smoke marijuana than to drink. I prefer drinking. I don't know if you guys love to drink. It seems like people do like to drink a lot in Atlanta. They like it a lot and they like to drink a lot. I saw one guy yelling at another guy in the street at like 4 in the morning near the Claremont. And he was yelling, he was like, yo, kid, don't fucking tell me when I gotta leave, what I gotta do. All this shit. And the other guy was like, you gotta yell at me, I don't even know you. And the other guy was like, oh, really? Oh, so he had thought he was yelling with a friend of his. That's how drunk he was. He's like, you're not Tom? Sorry to bother you. So my thing though is that I think alcohol is a better friend to you. The reason that we use these medications, because marijuana is a medication, so is alcohol. The reason we use these things is because the tragedy of everyday life permeates our existence, and that's why I do comedy, because in little ephemeral doses I can give you some sort of distraction or lifting out of how horrible all this actually is. You can really stare it right in the face. We'll talk about that more later as well. Just that nihilism that's kind of overtaking everything in a post-religious, post-meeting society. But you know, I mean, alcohol's a better friend. It's like if you drink too much, which no one wants to drink too much. I think it's so weird when people are like, God, you got so drunk the other night, you should be embarrassed. It's like nobody is trying to get too drunk. No one goes out on Saturday night and is like, I hope that by 9 p.m. tonight I'm going to be face down in the kitchen covered with Cheerios. I hope my friends will draw a dick on my face so when I wake up and I'm like, what happened last night? Why did I drink too much? I was having fun and I didn't control it. Well, at least my friends like me. And then you go into the bathroom and look in the mirror and you're like, fuck. Oh, God. I had a friend, Tom Fogarty, who my wife and I went to college with. Tom Fogarty, look him up. Go on his Facebook, and Tom is a piece of shit. He went to school in D.C., Fogarty. Thomas Fogarty. He lives in Texas now, in Houston. You can find him easily. He has glasses in his profile picture. This guy, every time I got so drunk I passed out, he drew a dick on my face. Later, he would graduate and become a paramedic. How does that work? Did he stop? Does he see a crash on the side of the road? He's like, quickly, he's unconscious. Bring me a defibrillator, but first a Sharpie marker. I'm gonna get you! Tom Fogarty, comment on his Facebook. Tell him, fuck that. What was that?
He drank pee.
He did? Oh, that's my wife, Kate. One time he did drink urine. I I don't know why. I'm already telling hundreds of people to comment negatively on his message board. That's how evil my wife is. She's like, also, he drank pee. It's funny to sort of be evil, but use a children's toity poo-poo word. Also, you should know, he drank pee-pee. He did. We were in this sort of senior circle where everybody was making a speech about everybody else, and then I couldn't leave, so I went behind the DJ booth and I urinated in a 40-ounce malt liquor, which is what we were all drinking. And I came back and I put it down near me, and he was in the bathroom, and he came back downstairs and he was like, "Hey, come on, are there any more 40s?" And we were like, "No, we're almost done with the night, and then we're gonna go out and drink." He's like, "Come on, TJ, you got a full fucking 40, let me have that one." He walks over and he grabs the 40, and it's like, Tom, that's piss. Sorry, Kate, that's pee. Tommy, that's pee-pee. That's pee-pee that came from my wee-wee tongue. And he's like, "Yeah, right, you just don't want to give me fucking your booze, asshole." And I was like, "Tom, I'm serious. That is my urine. I'm not joking. Everyone else in here can attest." And lots of other people are like, "Tom, yeah, that's piss, that is." And he's like, "All you guys are fucking with me. Well, fuck you." And he goes to do it, and as he goes to drink my urine, I went to jump out of my chair and knock it out of his hand, prevent a thing so embarrassing that years later, over a decade later, a woman would yell to strangers. So I just thought about just slapping it out of his, saving the day, and right when I was just about to get out, I remembered every single time I had passed out and he had drawn a dick on my face. And I just went, "Okay, Tom, your funeral." Yeah, I know, you want to hear the rest. It's not funny though. I mean, he took a sip, realized what had happened, spit it out, although to this day he denies it. I think he swallowed a little bit. It's not funny, it's sad, okay? And he spit it out, and I don't know why, this part actually was funny, because he just went, "Why didn't any of you tell me?" Oh, Tom. So, Tom Fogarty. See, find him on Facebook. Again, he's a paramedic, lives in Houston, Texas. So, there's this aspect of alcohol, which is, it does something great. It turns off your brain when you drink too much, right? That's actually really important, okay? Because you do only embarrassing things when you're blackout drunk, but luckily you don't need to know about it. Alcohol's like, "We'll take it from here." Tomorrow you'll find out what happens when your friend Derek calls you and is like, "You better pay for my dry cleaning, you piece of shit." You bought $30 worth of Journey songs on touch tags using my credit card. It's like, "Then don't give it to me, asshole." So, I like that. I like that alcohol does that. Marijuana is not a similar friend, right? 'Cause everybody smokes weed, it feels good, just like any drug, then you want to smoke a little more weed, right? And then you smoke too much weed, and instead of shutting your brain down, it turns it all the way up. Suddenly, it's working way too fast, you can't control it, you don't know what the fuck is going on. You're gonna become paranoid, right? Paranoia is terrible, especially if you're the pseudo-famous guy from Yogi Bear 3D. Imagine being high outdoors and paranoid and famous. Imagine that. That you're just walking by and people are like, hey, you're like, "Ah!" And paranoia is terrible because you're sitting in your head, you're like, "Okay, all right, I gotta stop." They made some sort of code language gesticulation to talk about how the party would be cooler if they could get me to leave the room. And I'm not gonna leave the room, I'm gonna show them that I figured out their code language, and I just gotta stop moving my leg because I keep moving my leg, and when they look at me, they're gonna be like, "He's moving his leg a lot, he must be way too high." Fuck, I'm not moving my leg. I do this other thing when I'm paranoid. I start to speak and talk very formally so as to appear not to be high. I don't know if any of you guys do this. Like you'll start, you know, especially an authority figure. But I was in it, but that doesn't always work. I was in a motel, which is a motor hotel, while I was on tour. And I was so high, very paranoid. But I couldn't figure out how to get the movie to work, and I wanted the movie to work so badly. So I was thinking about how the door is right there, someone can kick through it, or there's a window, smash through it, kept looking out the window, just being like, maybe it seems like there's somebody hiding behind that car. Then I was like, that's not even a car. It's a bad scene, right? So I want to watch a movie. So I call the front desk, right? But again, speaking very formally. Excuse me, I'd like to speak with the establishment of this. Excuse me, I'd like to speak with the proprietor of this establishment. The guy was like, what? And I was like, what? The entertainment center is not functioning in habitation 113, and the inhabitant would like to have remedied immediately. Again, very high. So then I was on hold, right, for a while. And I started thinking about, so strange, they put you on hold, you know, this music, and I understand the reason for the music. But now they have that music and it'll be interrupted by like a robot voice being like, thank you for calling. Your call is important, we'll be with you. So it's not important, otherwise you wouldn't put me on hold. And you gave me this music and now I'm starting to get into it. I kind of like the grooves that you're putting on your hold music. And then you break it in with somebody who cares so little about you that he's not even on the phone. He recorded this years ago and was like, thank you for holding. That guy could be dead. That could just be a dead person's voice being like, thank you for calling. Your call is important. That's like one time I checked my messages and it was from an unknown number and I checked it and all it said was like, this was all the message was. It was like, thank you for your patience. We'll be with you as soon as we can. That was the end of the message. It felt like it was from the universe. Being like, don't worry, this will start soon. Just relax. So then I realized I had forgotten if he had told me to hold on. Or if I had told him to hold on. And that's not a big deal unless you're very high, because you can't, if you told him to hold on and then you're like, hello! I was like, what the fuck? He's gonna call the police, obviously. We're gonna go to jail. It's a disaster. So, I don't know if you noticed, I'm pretty quick, with the short stuff and all that. And so, I figured I'll just be like, I'll say hello, but I'll make it sound like I'm either angry that I've been on hold for so long, or still wondering if he's still there. So I go, hello? Pretty good, right? Hello? But this guy was good. Because he comes right back at me and he goes, hello? So now I'm like, do I just jump out the window? What do I do? It's like, no, just keep your cool. And I did, and I went, this is a good move. I come right back at him and I go, are you there? Right? Difficult to decipher. Are you there? Right? I'm telling you, he was good. Because then he goes, yes? Are you? Checkmate. I was like, I don't know. I'm high. In room 113, call the police. He was like, I'm high too. I don't know if I was supposed to work today. You called the police. I was like, only if we can ride together. He said yes. Friends ever since. Let's cut that off. But yeah. What's your favorite American historical figure?
Eleanor Roosevelt.
T.J. Miller's really low standards. Nicolas Cage is a pretty good one. I've never heard that. Why do you say it in terms of a historical figure?
I mean, he found the treasure.
Move on from that. Like I went to a public school in Georgia where the history teacher was like, and today, Nicolas Cage in National Treasure. We already saw that in the last 7 days. I know, but don't fucking forget it. He is one of our founding fathers. Anybody else have a real answer? JFK is a really good one, right? Fought for freedom, died for it. You know what I mean? Who else?
Eleanor Roosevelt.
Eleanor Roosevelt. That's a great one. She's a badass chick. One of the originals.
Mike Judge.
Mike Judge.
Judge Jones.
Gotta be honest with you, not as good as Eleanor Roosevelt. If you want to stack up the accomplishments of Eleanor Roosevelt, who stood by her husband as he had polio and changed the American economy in the wake of World War I and II. Against the guy who made Beavis and Butthead. Along with the Nicolas Cage comment, I'm concerned about Georgia's public schooling system. That's exactly where you should go. You can't handle the truth! My favorite American historical figure is George Washington Carver. You guys know George Washington Carver? Yes. Peanut butter. Yes, that's it. George Washington Carver, the inventor of the peanuts. You know, my favorite American historical figure right now is Beyonce, because she invented lemonade. Lemons probably would have been funnier, but I'm riffing, so I'm doing the best that I can. George Washington Carver invented, you're right, peanut butter. Peanut butter, one of the great national treasures of the culinary world. George Washington Carver, much bigger than Nicolas Cage. Peanut butter, one of the only original American inventions along with jazz and stand-up comedy. Peanut butter, an art form in itself. We have so many different variations, we don't know what to do. Peanut butter, one of my favorite things in the world. If you invented peanut butter, this is my question. Would you keep it a secret for a little while? Just for a week? Just your own secret peanut butter treat? Or would you tell your friends? Would you immediately want to share it with everybody and sort of share the joy and the love of this incredible invention? What would you do? What do you think? What would you do? You'd share it. It's very selfless of you. Maybe not? Yeah? Share? No? I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you don't answer right now, I'm going to tear into your outfit. Secret? Some people keep it secret. I like that. Wouldn't that be weird? You show up places, your friends are like, why are you so happy? You're like, no reason. Does anybody have some celery and some ants? I obviously meant to say raisins, but... To be perfectly real with you, I've had celery, peanut butter, and ants. That shit's delicious. Can I have a Red Bull vodka if anybody, because we're almost done, but I really got to take it to the streets. I would like to keep it a little secret peanut butter treat, just for a week or so, you know what I mean? Not even tell anybody, not even your wife. You know? But I like to think that George Washington Carver was a great inventor, right? And like any great inventor, he had to have a great relationship, right? And any great relationship involves transparency. It's really important. Transparency is the foundation of something that probably is the meaning of life, which is ultimate intimacy. I'm not saying that it's the meaning of life, but it is something that all of us pursue without ever questioning why we pursue it. And the more secrets you have in between you and another person, the further away you are, the more obstacles you have in between you and the other person's transparency, and thus the more obstacles between you and the other person's ultimate intimacy, right? So I just like to think that, you know, even if he was keeping it a secret, you know, his wife's like, George! You want me to bring the jelly sandwiches down to your invent workshop? He's like, no, Martha, that's okay. And I don't know if her name was Martha, but neither do you. Martha Washington Carver, maybe, okay. No, that's fine, just leave them outside. You can leave the jelly sandwiches outside and I'll eat them without adding anything to them at all. Certainly nothing that would immediately antiquate the idea of jelly sandwiches. But I feel like if they had transparency, she eventually would have to confront him. George, I know you hid something from me. I can see the eyes. What is the secret that you keep, George? She's pissed. But guys, I gotta ask you now, is there anything, any better get out of jail free card when a woman is mad at you than having invented peanut butter? He said, Martha, I understand you're upset, but I want you to come to the kitchen with me. I want you to meet a little friend of mine. His name's Peanut Butter. Not literally, that would be super scary. I don't have a small person in there who's like, peanut butter. And I know that our friend Philip Bacon Jr.'s initial was all PBJ, but I invented something, I made butter out of peanuts. Come into the kitchen, I'll show you. And she's like, you damn fool, inventing, and you make butter out of peanuts. What are you gonna make something smooth and creamy? Out of peanuts, something hard, but you have two different variations, one creamy, the other chunky, both equally delicious! And that's when he doesn't have to say anything, he just slowly pushes the peanut butter and jelly sandwich into her mouth. She bites down, and I'm sorry you guys, but she just comes. She has the most violent orgasm she's ever had in her life. And you gotta know, this is history, guys, you gotta know. He got on her and he fucked her. He did. And he fucked her, there's no other way to say it, he fucked her like the guy who just invented peanut butter. And I want every person in here, when you go home, and the next time that you have great sex, which I hope is tonight, I don't know how it could be after seeing this display of insanity. But if you have mind-blowing intercourse soon in the future, I want you to turn to the person after, just give it a second, take a breath, and turn and just say, that was like you just invented peanut butter. Because if they were at the show, that's the greatest compliment they've ever gotten. But if they weren't, or they were too drunk to remember, that is the weirdest ending to sex. And that is real strange. I'd like to talk about a couple things then. Thank you guys so much. I know that we had to hold the doors because the first show started late. You guys have been, and I know it's incredibly hot in here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I may not be able to get to the juggling, which I think is okay, because it is pretty weird just to have juggling balls on stage. So just briefly to get to what I would. Anyway, so I just want to talk about a few things. One of them would be, there's some things I want to talk about that you maybe haven't thought of before, like how cars are actually robot horses. You know that, but that's really true. Your car's a robot horse. You're a robot horse. Your cell phone is a little robot friend that you need with you all the time. Without him, you're afraid, without having that little cell phone friend with you. You ever try and leave your place and you forgot your cell phone? I was like, oh, I forgot my cell phone. Caleb will be like, that's okay, I have mine. It's Sunday. I'm like, yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, we can go. So that's something you haven't thought about. Pets. Pets are actually friend slaves. Now hold on a second. No, listen. That is merely a way for me to sort of transition into morality, being relative depending on when you were born throughout history or in the future. I know that's hard to hear. It's not a big deal. My wife, she doesn't agree with me, so she has a collection of salamanders and a kitten. And I tried to free the salamanders, but the cage is too difficult for me to open or figure out. But if you think about it, I mean, they are, they're companions that you've enslaved, and they have a great life. And a lot of you right now are like, no, there's no way. And you'll get home tonight, and you'll see your little doggy, and you'll be like, and you're like, see, he loves me, TJ, what's wrong? Look at you, you love me. But you can't communicate with them, so in their minds, they might be like, is this the day that I'm free? You leave in the morning, and I don't know if you'll ever come back. Hours later, you come back. Ah! Sometimes I shit, and you yell at me. Other times I shit, and you pick it up with your hands and say, good dog. side of a graveyard, a Confederate graveyard, in fact, in Marietta. Which I sometimes jog around graveyards. I think it's very cathartic. I was running, I saw this little doggy, but it was alone. It had no master. It had a little dog tag on. But where was its master? Where was the slave's master? But I was kind of like, let the dog, you know, who cares? But I'm talking to Kate, and she's like, wait, what, does it have a dog tag? I'm like, yeah, it has its identification. Good, it has the little band around its neck that tells you what it's like. Yeah, like the Jews had in World War II, the band, to identify them, you know what I mean? She's like, okay, yeah, well, you gotta go and try and get the dog. You gotta go grab the dog. She goes, and so I start walking after her, and it keeps turning me and like, and then it would run away. And I'd slowly try and approach it, and it would run away. I'd slowly try and approach it. Kate goes, you know, just bend down, pretend like you have food. Try and get it to come over. Did you hear that? She said, pretend like you have food. Hey, little doggy, I know you finally found that weak spot in the fence that was the prison around you. And you got out, and now you're free, right? But you must be hungry, aren't you? Look, what's in here? What's that? Come. Have some food. This is the right time to let the gas in. Thank you. Oh my God, that was so funny. So we'll run through this really quickly. So morality is relative. It's if you were born 2,000 years ago, people would be like, that was really cool. I thought that was really brave of you, how you killed your wife because she bore you 2 female children. And she hadn't borne you a son, and it's been hard on the tribe's resources, so we appreciate it. We know that you loved her, but you killed her, and we thought that was really brave, so that was awesome. Thank you. I'll let you get back to your morning. M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G and also M-O-R-N-I-N-G. Because I came to say sorry at around 9 a.m., so get back to your morning anyway. And 2,000 years in the future, they'll look back and they'll be like, they enslaved pets for companionship. They ate meat, they killed pigs, who arguably have the emotional intelligence of dogs, and ate meat when they didn't have to. They could survive without encaging animals and slaughtering them, so that I, earlier today, could have a crystal burger, which is fucking delicious. Yeah, I'm not giving up meat. You can forget about that. What's that? Crystal burger's not meat? Yeah, I know that, but crystal burger sounds funny, and it also has a K, which is a funny letter in a word. So I thought crystal burger, also being a chain that's primarily in the South, would have been a funny enough reference to then move on without somebody telling me that it's happening. So I adore the 2 of you, but no more talking for the rest of the show. So much. There should be no more talking. I will tear into your outfit. The only cutoffs you should be wearing is the bartender saying you're cut off from any more alcohol. So that's like to say, so I eat meat, right? So I'm kind of a bad person for eating meat because I know how they get the meat. I know how they source it. I know what they do to these animals. It's terrible. We all know it. But I eat meat, and nobody when I order a steak is like, really? No waiter has ever been like, buddy, you can continue to live if you just eat the fish and the vegetables. Do you really want to do this? Do you know what happened to this cow? Never. They're like, excellent choice, sir, for ribeyes. That's the one I like too, because they fatten them up before they slit their throats. I know, see, tough. This is tough, so I'm going to sit to here. But I'm going to bring it out as I'm going to say, you know, I am a good person because I don't say the N-word. What, you don't agree? I think we should all agree. A round of applause. Does anybody in here say the N-word? Do you think that's... If somebody says the N-word ever, I immediately, even if they're joking or it's along to a song, I'm talking mostly about white people, but just in general, especially with a hard R, I'm like, no, you're a bad person. That's a bad... You don't have to do that. Why did you just do that? Right? But the problem is that every single person in here, every single person, has walked by another person, a homeless person of any ethnicity, and not only have you not given them $1 that they asked for and needed more than you, and you didn't need as much as they. Not only did you not give them that $1, you didn't even look them in the eye when they asked for it. Never mind. Have you guys ever done cocaine? It is the stuff. It hits the spot. Yeah, forget it. I said anything. Let's focus on being PC with our language. I think that's important. I'm very serious about that. I think that's important. I think we should talk about death more. Doesn't usually go well at comedy shows, but you guys are a good audience, a smart, strong audience. Some of you immediately knew that Nicolas Cage saved the national treasure. But you know, morality is relative. That's okay. That just means that you can make your own meaning and values. That should empower us. Death also should empower us in a post-religious, post-meaning society. You should realize that you can make your own meaning, and that death is just this great eternal sleep. Again, going back to the fact that, like, what if you went to sleep and you didn't wake up? Think of how much better your day-to-day would have gone. Why is that bad? See, even I'm talking about it, and it's morbid. That's the problem. We only have one adjective for talking about death, and that is morbidity. It's morbid. And morbid is never used in a positive way, is it, ever? No one ever says, have you ever heard someone say you're being morbid in like an up way? Anybody ever been like, hey Steve, I know you're going home for the weekend, but I just want to tell you, all week you were super morbid, thank you. Talking about death, the meaningless nature of existence, or ephemeral value, you know, reevaluate your value. Very morbid. Next week, just bring that morbidity back, okay? Keep being morbid, buddy. Have fun with your family. I hope they don't die. Just kidding, but think about it. I think we should talk about death more, because it's one of the things that we don't talk about, but all of us have in common. What we do all talk about with each other and strangers is weather, right? We always talk about the weather, but we have no control over that. In fact, it makes us feel less in control of our lives, right? We all are in control of our deaths, because we can all commit suicide. And I say this only because I hope that all of you, die from suicide. Think about that. You don't have any sort of influence on when you come into the world, but you have absolute decision on when you leave it. Think about how empowering that is. Think about that positive aspect of suicide. I know you're saying Jesus right now, and another thing is, suicide, we don't talk about that enough. And I don't know if anybody in here, I have, if anybody in here has had someone close to them or someone close to them have someone in their lives commit suicide. My question is, that person who committed suicide, would they maybe not have made that decision if they were able to talk about it more? If it was more socially acceptable for them to talk about it and say how seriously they're considering that option? I think so. Yeah, absolutely. So I won that argument. But I have a friend, a very good friend, commit suicide about a year ago today. Well, it was within the last week. A year ago, you know, it may have been, it was in June. June, 1 year ago to, no, 7 years ago. Anyway. It really affected me, and I showed that on my Facebook. I talked about how much it affected me and how much it had interrupted my life. I really made it about me, because I think that's what he would have wanted. You know what I mean? So his name was Gleek Clark the Gobblesnarf. We went to college together. You know what? We can laugh. It's an uncomfortable subject, okay? So Gleek Clark and I went to college, and he obviously from the Gobblesnarf family. Gleek Clark the Gobblesnarf. Yeah, I know. So he's very rich, but, you know, the Gobblesnarf, we all know, they're like the Koch brothers, you know, they make their money from gobbling snarf. Snarf, obviously, is when you sneeze and barf at the same time. Yeah, it's disgusting. They're gobbling and snarf, it's horrible. So he didn't want to go into his family's business. He tried to switch it up. He started snarfing gobbles for a while after college, which is much less disgusting. You just have to go into a turkey field and stand near their little beaks and wait until they're like, woo, and they snarf that down, you know. It's just inhaling a sound. No, it's not gross at all. But that didn't work, and, you know, this economy. And And so one day he got really drunk during flu season, and he had talked to us about suicide a lot. And he's got shit faced. He had the flu. He fell asleep on his back, facing up, and we didn't turn him to his side because we thought that's what he would have wanted. Sure enough, he sneezed and he vomited, and it's kind of poetic, really, because he died doing what he loved. He died gobbling his own snark. No, actually, he hated that. Yeah, he died doing what he hated, which isn't poetic. It's actually, that's tragic. Anyway, sorry. Okay, I can't believe we've gotten to this point. You know what? In fact, now I don't like juggling in public. I rarely do it. I just started doing it on stage. And the reason is because if you drop a ball, there is no recovery. If I fuck something up in the stand-up, you know, like earlier I said some word and I meant to say the other word, and so I switched it around and then changed the joke. Once you drop a ball, it's no longer impressive. So, you know, even juggling like this, that's fairly impressive. And also, this is the moment when you realize that I never needed the microphone at all. So you're kind of like, why is he even yelling? It would be like if I invited you all to my living room and then I had a PA system. It's like, everyone be quiet! But when you juggle, if you drop the ball, no matter how impressive the juggling can get, which it can get pretty impressive. Do you see right there? As I'm doing this, you're like, holy shit, he's a really good juggler. Oh, look at that. Oh my god. And then you're like, fuck. I could do that. I figured out in comedy what I can do is juggle, and if I drop something, I reveal something real, something very vulnerable about myself, okay? And then that can kind of reset us, and I buy the audiences. What if I drop that? Then I'd have to do two. Thank you for that. Sometimes when I'm talking to my dad, I'm listening to him and paying attention, but in my mind I'm just going, fuck you. Fuck you, sir. Fuck you. When I was in camp when I was 8 years old, well, let me put it this way. When a boy asks to put your penis in his mouth, you don't expect him to expect you to return the favor. Five-ball juggling is, this is not the closer, I want you to know that, okay? One more thing that I want to ask you, if you'll do it with me, right after this. And so I just want to say, five-ball juggling is nearly impossible. It's the black belt of ball juggling. Right? But I'm going to do it for you right now.
All right.
Yeah, thank you for your support. Thanks for coming. Thank you very much. When I said that I was going to do this, and I also asked that you guys would do something right after this with me, and that girl said, all right. If it was legal to slit your Achilles tendon, I would have. Recently, I was completely naked in front of a full-body mirror. And
And I gave myself the once over. And then I did it a second time. And then I looked into my own eyes and I went,
I owe you two. Yes, I think yes.
Savvy on facial spray. God damn it, you guys have been such an incredible audience. And I want to do this thing right now. I'm supposed to do a 5-minute set on Meltdown, which is a show on Comedy Central. Have any of you guys ever seen it? So, I want to do the set for you now. We're taping it. There's actually people taping in the audience. I was really mean to this guy who's actually helping me out a lot. I apologize. It's not like you take some of this footage of me being really mean for very little reason. I apologize. You guys are drunk and having fun. Put that on YouTube, and then I'm really fucked. So I thought though that I would do this set, and then they'll put on Meltdown. So you guys would be the audience in the show. Are you up for that? Thank you, sincerely, thank you. And that'll be it for the evening. And then I'd love afterwards I'll sort of need to chill here for a second, and then out in the parking lot, I'd love to take pictures and stuff. And if you worked on the movie, how many of you worked on the movie here? Worked on the movie, stick around down here because I have a little gift for you. And the rest of you, please come upstairs and say hello to me in the parking lot if you want to. Maybe you'll also be like, So yeah, so here's what I thought was that, hey, and are we okay, Lance, yeah? Yes. Okay, so what I thought I would do is, I would, okay, so this will be very quick. How long is it supposed to be, Lance? 5 minutes. So it'll be 5 minutes at the max, and I'm gonna go off stage. And so again, this is for Meltdown, but we're in Atlanta. We're gonna make them think that, hey, look, this is Atlanta. So I'm gonna go off stage, and when I come back on stage, give me like huge thunderous applause, as if it's me just coming on stage in the TV show. And then once I get on stage and you clap a whole bunch, I'm gonna be like, welcome to Meltdown. You know that you're still here at Relapse. That's gonna be sort of confusing for a second. And then I'll go right in. It's a crowd work set, so I'll be talking and riffing with the crowd, not the two of you, because you've served to be really, really an obstacle to the comedy. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, it's okay. I love you. We've worked together for years, and I just want to say that your entitlement, you wear like a badge. But so now let's forget about that. She has a great sense of humor. Obviously, she's been yelling funny things out all night. So that's fine. And I will. So I'll be riffing with some people in the front of the audience. I'll ask questions, and you guys can kind of yell from the back. You know what I mean? I'm looking for some of these people over here. You know who I'm talking about? Judy and David. All right. So I'll go off stage, and then I'll come back on. Hold on one second. Not yet. Hold on, just one second. No, you guys are being so great. This is real.
Holy crap.
Pictures up.
Did you say more? What do you think the joke here was? Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so no. I'm sorry. That's my fault. I went off stage and I come back on, so I'll go off stage now. And I come back on stage, huge thunderous applause. I'll be like, welcome to Meltdown. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, you say it. Yell it.
Ladies and gentlemen, TJ Miller.
Come
set, okay? I said thunderous applause, so there's no whistling, that's all like a hurricane or something like that. Thunderous applause, so it's the thunder of applause. Just do that for me, please. And then I'll come on stage and be like, welcome to Meltdown. Okay? Cool, here we go. But do it for real, sister.
The next dancer on stage 9.
Come on.
Welcome, TJ Miller!
Ladies and Meltdown, well. Okay, that's my fault. That was great. That was like the perfect applause. But the gin got in my eyes, and you heard what I said. So I'm gonna come back on stage. I'll say welcome to Meltdown. Same deal though. That was really good, David. Ladies and gentlemen, ready to go? Say it. Now say it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome TJ Miller!
Thank you. Welcome to Meltdown. Yeah! So we're going to do a quick riff set for you guys. I'd like to just talk to the audience here. A couple people in the front row. Tell me, so Miss, you, where are you from?
Cleveland.
You are?
Yes.
Well, great. My mother's from Cleveland. Anybody concerned that weather sort of is a reflection of our obsession with agriculture, which has kind of ruined our hunter-gatherer nature? Because we used to sort of live very much in the present. Now all of us are saying, like, let's live in the present, let's live in the present. Well, the reason that we don't, and we think about the future all the time, is because of agriculture, which we gave up, and for the safety of knowing that you would have a crop every year instead of constantly every day hunting for your food and hoping to live. Anybody think about that? Are you ever really high and you're high and you're talking to somebody who's not high and you don't want them to know that you're high?
Yeah.
And so you're trying to act not high, but then you go to take the cap off of your water bottle and it's already off. You can't recover from that. There's no way to do it. I like to rub it before I lick it. So, how many of you by round? What? Is that what you said? What? Yeah, what do you mean what? What do you think I'm sitting here being like, I'll tell you exactly what? Did you see what the fuck just happened? Imagine how freaky that would be if it happened to you. I was like, this is a big show, the Meltdown is a big show. And I was thinking, so the juggling didn't quite work, and I thought, we had a little bit of trouble with the run-up at the start of it, and I just can't stop thinking about how these guys just, it's going the wrong way. You notice that? I mean, does that bother anybody? That here they're like, and you start here, and then it becomes... That's literally the biggest laugh that I've had in the set, is me going, sometimes I honestly wonder, I'm like, why don't I just do it? Wouldn't it be weird if that was it? I just come on stage and I'm like, hey, that's the thing. holding it to protect it, but am hitting it. No!
Imagine if your thing, your job was to make people laugh, but then at a certain point they're all laughing and you're like, that's the wrong kind of laugh. And they're like, just like you did, and then you're like, listen to what I'm saying, you're like, see, you're still laughing as I'm like, listen to me. Imagine how terrifying that would be. Imagine the nightmare of being on stage trying to be like, stop laughing just for once. Not that I don't want you not to laugh, but don't laugh at this specific thing. And you're like, who tells me? Well, you don't have to tell me what I laugh at. I'm going to laugh when I want to laugh. I paid to come and see you, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, sure, now you sing. Why is your laugh so robust? Fucking oil baron, Jesus God!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Meltdown!